Let me tell you something that surprises a lot of people. Two service members can wear the same uniform, serve the same country, retire honorably after the same amount of time, and one of them will earn hundreds of thousands of dollars more over their lifetime. Not because they worked harder, not because they were smarter, not because they cared more, but because of one very early decision: officer or enlisted. And most people make that decision without ever understanding what it really pays long term. This is the Adjutant, and today we're going to talk about one of the most important and most misunderstood career decisions in the entire military. It's not about ego, this is not about rank pride, and it is definitely not about disrespecting either path. This is about math, timing, and long-term outcomes. Now, why this question never goes away? If you served any amount of time, you've heard this question before. Should I go officer? Should I stay enlisted? Is it worth commissioning? Did I miss my window? This question comes up at re-enlistment, after making E5 or E6, after finishing a degree, after seeing someone else promote faster, and especially as retirement gets closer. And the reason it never goes away is because the consequences compound quietly. You don't feel them early. You do, however, feel them later. Now, let's start here because this matters. The enlisted path is not a mistake. It's not a consolation prize. It's not a lesser form of service. Now, for many people, it is the right decision. Enlisted service offers early entry into the military, earlier steady income, earlier access to benefits, earlier leadership at the tactical level, deep technical and operational expertise. Senior enlisted leaders, those are the E7s, E8s, and E9s, are the backbone of the force. They lead people. They shape the culture. They make things actually work. And financially, a senior enlisted retiree can actually live very well. But, and this is important to remember, the enlisted pay structure does have a ceiling. And the ceiling arrives faster than most people actually realize. Now, early on, the pay difference doesn't actually feel that dramatic. An E4 and an O1 aren't living in different universes, for example. An E5 and an O2 comparable depending on allowances. That's why the decision feels cosmetic at first. But military pay is not linear. It is layered. Base pay grows differently. Promotion timelines kind of diverge. Retirement calculations lock in at different levels. And once retirement starts, that number becomes permanent. Now, why time matters more than talent? Here's the part actually people get wrong. They think becoming an officer is about intelligence or leadership ability. It is absolutely not. It's about timing. An officer who commissions early gets access to faster base pay growth, higher promotion ceilings, larger retirement multipliers, stronger post-military leverage. An officer who commissions late often does not see the same payoff, which is why some people commission and later feel actually disappointed, because that window does matter. Now, let's talk about retirement, because this is where the decision actually becomes real. Military retirement isn't just a pension. It's not just half pay. It is, however, a COLA adjusted income stream paid every month, potentially for decades, often combined with VA disability, often paired with a second career. A difference of even $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 a month doesn't sound dramatic today, but over 25 or 30 years, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that gap never closes. Now, here's something that surprises people. Even very successful enlisted careers can feel financially tight after retirement, not because the retiree failed, but because the structure is actually very rigid. Once you hit your highest grade and your retirement is calculated, that number, folks, is locked in. Officers, particularly 04 through 06 retirees, often retire with more margin, more flexibility, and more room for error. That matters later on in life. Now let's talk about something people rarely connect to this decision, and that's civilian earning power. Fair or unfair, the civilian world interprets officers' experience as executive leadership, management readiness, strategic responsibility. Now again, that doesn't mean enlisted experience lack value. It absolutely doesn't, as a matter of fact, but perception does affect your starting salary, your interview leverage, promotion speed, negotiation power. That's a multiplier effect that stacks on top of your military retirement. Now, the biggest mistake people make is asking which path is better. That's the wrong question. The correct question is which path fits my timeline, because switching too late can actually hurt you, staying put too long can hurt, chasing rank without a plan can actually hurt the most. This is not about regret, it's about awareness. So who should seriously consider commissioning? You should strongly consider the officer path if you commission early, if you plan to stay for 20 years or more. You want maximum retirement leverage. You want a broader post-service options. Timing actually makes or breaks this. Now, on the other hand, who should stay enlisted with confidence? You should stay enlisted if you entered early, you enjoy hands-on leadership, you value technical mastery of things, you plan to retire at a senior enlisted level, you have a strong post-military plan. There is nothing wrong with either path. The problem is not choosing blindly. Now here's the quiet truth. Officer or enlisted is not about status. It's about time, math, and leverage, and understanding the system you're in. The military will pay you either way, but it will only pay you back fully if you understand how the game works. Information doesn't change outcomes by itself. Understanding does, and understanding gives you options. Whether you're enlisted, an officer, or just still deciding, the most expensive mistake you can make is not knowing what your choices cost long term. And now you know. This is the Adjutant. I wish you blessings and blessings, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.